My wife announced, "I'm leaving you." I coolly replied, "Don't let the door hit you." Then I brokered a deal to buy her shares in our startup. 72 hours later, her lawyer was on my porch. I, 34 male, built a tech consulting firm from scratch over the past 6 years. Started in my garage, now we're pulling $2.3 million annually. My wife Celeste, 32, came on board 2 years in when we needed someone to handle operations and client relations. She owned 30% of the company, I kept 51%, and our business partner Marcus, 38, held 19%. 3 days ago, Celeste walks into my home office while I'm reviewing quarterly reports and drops this bomb. "I'm leaving you. This marriage is over." No emotion, no explanation, just cold as ice. I looked up from my laptop, took a sip of my coffee, and said, "Don't let the door hit you on the way out." She clearly expected tears, begging, maybe some dramatic scene. Instead, I just went back to my spreadsheet. The silence was deafening. Here's the thing. I'd suspected something was up for months. Late nights at the office, secretive phone calls, that guilty look when I'd walk into a room. I'm not stupid. I just didn't care enough to investigate because, honestly, our marriage had been dead for 2 years. But her shares in my company? That was a different story. Within an hour of her little announcement, I texted Marcus. "Emergency meeting, now." We met at a coffee shop downtown. I laid it out straight. Celeste was leaving and I wanted to buy out her 30% stake before this turned into a messy divorce battle. "How much?" he asked. "Fair market value, $650K. Marcus nearly choked on his latte. "Dude, that's generous as hell. The company's worth way more than that now." "I know, but I want this clean and fast. Can you help me structure the deal?" Long story short, we drafted a purchase agreement that same afternoon. I had the cash liquid from some crypto investments I'd made years ago. By evening, I had all the paperwork ready. When Celeste came home to pack, she'd been staying at her sister's. I slid the contract across the kitchen counter. "What's this?" she asked. "Buyout agreement for your shares. $650K cash, closing in 48 hours. She laughed. Actually laughed. "You think I'm stupid? Those shares are worth at least $1 million now." "Maybe, but you're also about to be my ex-wife, and I'm not letting you drag my business through divorce court. Take the deal or fight me for years and probably end up with less." She grabbed the papers, said she'd think about it, and stormed out. This morning, she signed. Money transferred this afternoon. I own my company free and clear now. Well, except for Marcus's 19%, but he's solid. Celeste can have whatever's left of our personal stuff. The house is in my name only, bought it before we married, and I've already changed all the locks and passwords. Am I being cold? Maybe. But she chose to blow up our life with zero warning or discussion. I'm just protecting what I built. Update 1. Holy shit, you guys. This just got interesting. So remember how I said Celeste signed the buyout agreement? Well, apparently she had second thoughts. Her lawyer showed up at my door at 8 a.m. this morning. Some slick-looking dude in an expensive suit carrying a briefcase like he's about to serve me with nuclear war documents. "Mr. Thompson? I'm representing your wife in this matter. She'd like to rescind the share purchase agreement." I'm standing there in my bathrobe drinking coffee like, that's not how contracts work, buddy. Actually, she was under emotional duress when she signed. We believe the agreement was coercive and the consideration inadequate. I invited him in just to hear this circus. Turns out Celeste hired some hotshot divorce attorney who specializes in protecting women's assets in high-net-worth divorces. This guy's talking about emotional manipulation, unfair business practices, blah blah blah. "So what does she want?" I asked. "Full valuation of the company, proper division of marital assets, and potential spousal support given her contributions to the business." I laughed. Straight up laughed in this man's face. Her contributions? She answered phones and scheduled meetings. I built this company from nothing. She was instrumental in operations for 4 years. She was an employee who got equity because she was my wife. The company exists because of my work, my clients, my reputation. The lawyer starts pulling out papers, talking about forensic accounting and business valuations. I stopped him right there. "You know what? Do your worst. Waste her money on legal fees. The buyout is done, money's transferred, shares are mine. If she wants to fight, we'll fight." After he left, I called my own attorney. Turns out this is exactly what I expected. Buyer's remorse mixed with bad legal advice. The contract is solid, consideration was fair, actually generous, and she signed willingly with no coercion. But here's the kicker. While I was talking to my lawyer, Marcus calls me. Dude, you need to know something. Celeste and we've been seeing each other. Dead silence. For how long? About 8 months. And there it is. My wife wasn't just leaving me. She was leaving me for our business partner. The same business partner who helped me structure the buyout that screwed her out of potential millions. I should be furious. But honestly, I just feel relieved. Now I know exactly what I'm dealing with. Marcus, you realize what you just did, right? What do you mean? You helped me buy her out for $650K when she could have fought for half the company. That's over $1 million you just cost your new girlfriend. Long pause. Oh shit. Yeah, buddy. Shit indeed. Update 2, this keeps getting better. So apparently Marcus grew a conscience and told Celeste that he'd help me structure the buyout. She lost her mind. I know this because she showed up at my office yesterday screaming loud enough that half the building heard her. You manipulated Marcus into helping you steal my money. I'm sitting at my desk, totally calm, while she's having a meltdown in front of my entire staff. I didn't manipulate anyone. Marcus made his choice. He didn't know we were together. That sounds like a communication problem between you and your boyfriend. She starts crying, fake tears obviously, about how I've ruined her life, stolen her future, blah blah blah. My assistant finally called security. But wait, it gets worse. After security escorted her out, I get a text from Marcus. We need to talk. Emergency. We meet at the same coffee shop as before. Marcus looks like he hasn't slept in days. She wants me to sell my shares to her. He says, "Excuse me? Celeste, she's demanding I sell her my 19% stake for the same price you paid her. Says it's the only way to make this right." I start laughing. Can't help it. Let me get this straight. She sold her shares to me willingly. Now she wants to buy your shares to get back into the company she just left. She says if I really love her, I'll do this, that it's my fault she lost money because I helped you. Marcus, bro, do you hear yourself right now? He's quiet for a minute, then, I think I made a mistake. Which mistake? Sleeping with my wife or helping me buy her out? Both. Here's where it gets really good. Marcus tells me that Celeste has been demanding he quit the company too, so they can start fresh together. But she also wants him to somehow get his equity back first, so they'll have money. She wants you to have your cake and eat it too, I tell him. I know, and her lawyer keeps calling me, trying to get me to sign some affidavit saying you coerced both of us. Are you going to? Hell no, but she's making my life miserable. That's when I realize something. Celeste isn't just entitled, she's desperate. She gambled on leaving me, thought she'd get a big divorce settlement, and now she's realizing she might have screwed herself. Marcus, here's what's going to happen. She's going to try to destroy our business relationship because she can't accept that she made a bad decision. Are you prepared for that? He nodded, but I could see the doubt in his eyes. 2 hours later, I get a call from our biggest client. Apparently, someone contacted them claiming there were serious financial irregularities at our company and they should reconsider their partnership. Guess who that might have been? Update 3. Celeste just made the biggest mistake of her life. So after that client call, I hired a private investigator. If she wants to play dirty, I need to know exactly what I'm dealing with. The PI came back with some interesting info. Turns out Celeste and Marcus have been using company resources for their little affair. Company credit card charges at hotels during business trips that were actually romantic getaways. Dinner meetings that were just dates on the company dime. But that's not even the best part. Remember how she was calling our clients? Well, she wasn't just making vague accusations. She was telling them I was cooking the books and that they should audit their contracts with us. She even sent emails from her old company account, which IT hadn't deactivated yet, my bad. That's defamation, tortious interference, and breach of fiduciary duty, all rolled into one beautiful legal package. My lawyer was practically salivating when I showed him the evidence. "This is better than Christmas," he said. "We can go after her for damages, get an injunction to stop her from contacting clients, and probably pierce any settlement she might get in the divorce." But I wanted to give her one last chance to back down. Call it professional courtesy. I texted her, "Stop contacting my clients or face legal consequences." Her response, "Go fuck yourself. I'll destroy everything you built." Wrong answer. That afternoon, I filed for an emergency restraining order and sued her for business interference, defamation, and breach of contract. The restraining order was granted within 24 hours. She's now legally prohibited from contacting our clients, coming near our offices, or using any company resources. But here's the cherry on top. Remember those company credit card charges? That's embezzlement. I forwarded everything to the police. Marcus came to see me yesterday, looking like a ghost. "She's been arrested," he said. I heard. "The charges? They're serious." Yes, they are. She's blaming me. Says I should have known better, that I led her astray. I just stared at him. "Marcus, she made her choices just like you made yours. I think we're done. She's not who I thought she was." "No shit, Sherlock. The business is stable now. I've had to do some damage control with clients, but our reputation is intact. 3 new contracts signed this week, actually. Celeste is looking at potential jail time for the embezzlement charges. Her lawyer is scrambling to work out a plea deal, but the evidence is ironclad. And me, I'm sleeping better than I have in years." Final update? It's over. Celeste took a plea deal yesterday. No jail time, but she has to pay restitution of $47,000 for the embezzled funds, plus she's on probation for 2 years. Her professional reputation is completely shot. Word travels fast in our industry. The civil lawsuit was settled out of court. She agreed to pay $180,000 in damages for the business interference and signed a non-disclosure agreement. She also had to send formal apologies to every client she contacted. Marcus ended things with her after the arrest. He's still working with me, but it's awkward as hell. We're keeping it professional for now, but I'm already looking into buying out his shares too. Some bridges can't be rebuilt. The divorce was finalized last week. No spousal support, minimal asset division since everything was protected. She got her car, her personal belongings, and that's about it. I ran into her at the grocery store 2 days ago. She looked defeated, tired, like someone who'd gambled everything and lost. She tried to say something to me, but I just walked past her. There's literally nothing left to say. The company is doing better than ever. I've hired 2 new people to handle operations, and we're expanding into cloud security services. Funny how removing toxic people from your life creates space for growth. Do I feel bad about how it all went down? Not really. She chose to leave, chose to try and destroy my business, chose to steal from the company. I just responded accordingly. Some people in the comments have called me cold or calculating. Maybe they're right. But I protected what I built, and I sleep well at night knowing that. Would I do anything differently? Probably should have changed those account passwords sooner. And maybe been more careful about mixing business with marriage in the first place. But overall, I'm exactly where I want to be. Single, successful, and surrounded by people who actually respect what I've built. Oh, and I bought a new house last week. Something Celeste never had a claim to. Fresh start, clean slate. Sometimes the best revenge really is living well. Thanks for following this mess, Reddit. Time to close this chapter and move on to better things.